Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21. But he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Halt! Right, down. All right, just pull out for 10 minutes.
Splendid church parade, Wilson. I thought the men looked very smart.
Yes, yes. I couldn't quite understand why we had to march around the town first, so after all, the church is only next door.
You'd hardly expect us to nip over the back wall, could you? What's the use of having a church parade if you don't parade?
No, but I mean, was it entirely necessary if we have to go around the town twice?
Oh, I think it was well worthwhile. I thought the men marched very well.
Yes, it's a pity poor old Godfrey had to fall out.
Well, he caught up with us second time round.
Oh, yeah. Who told you to deliver it? You can't leave it there.
I've got my orders and that's...
Going on up there.
Someone's
dear.
got to sign for it.
Well, I'm not signing
What's the
for
matter,
it.
Virgil?
You might well ask. The vicar's not going to like this, you know. He wants someone to sign for it.
What does it say, Wilson?
A note from you, a call from us, a date is fixed, no worry or fuss, a pictured van, a gentle giant, the work is done, a satisfied client.
Gentle giant?
Yeah, that's what it says here, yes, gentle giant.
Well, there's a war on, isn't there? Just sign for it. I can't hang about. We've got 6 more to deliver today.
What exactly is it you want me to sign for?
It's got it on the chitty. 1 13-pounder.
What?
Mr. Manrin, there's a beautiful firing piece out in the yard.
There's a dirty great gun out in the yard, sir.
What?
The vicar's going to be furious about this, you know, Mr. Mannerling.
Just sign with us,
All
sir.
right, yes, sir.
I say, Wilson, look at this.
What's that, sir? Oh, yes.
By Jove.
It's rather a big one, isn't it?
If it comes anywhere near us now, we'll blow him to kingdom come. I wonder how it works.
Oh, no idea, sir. Jones, have you any idea of how to handle these things?
No, sir, we never had a firing piece like that in the Sudan. We used to have a thing called a Gatling gun, sir. That was invented by an American dentist, a Mr. Gatling, sir. And we used to use it in the Sudan. We used to form a square and have the Gatling gun in the middle. And when them fuzzy wuzzies come curdling towards you with their blood cries, we used to duck down the last minute. Up come the gun. But you had to duck down quick, otherwise you got the top of your helmet shot off. That head's the expression, sir. Get your head down.
Yes, all right, Corporal.
Anyway, so
Thank you very
it
much.
says here it's a 13-pounder naval gun on special wheel mounting.
Naval gun, eh?
Yes.
Oh, well, in that case, we're in luck, aren't we? Fraser was in the Navy.
Yes, that's right, yes, Chief Petty Officer, I believe.
Yes, go and get him, Walker.
Sir.
And the rest of the platoon.
Oi, Taffy!
Here, look at this.
Bring the platoon out. See what Father Christmas has brought you.
Here, look at this. There's a sort of telescope thing here.
Those are the sights, Jonesy, the sights. You see.
Right, yes, there are some sights. Let's have a look. Oh. Here, there's an haystack as plain as your face. Wait a minute, there's a couple of people in it. Wait a minute. Oh, here, you have a look at this, Sergeant.
It's rather unusual.
Yes, all right.
Is that ours, that was, Sergeant?
Yes, of course it's ours, of course it is. Yes.
Does it make a very big bang?
Well, it's not exactly a pea shooter, is it?
Bangs always give me a terrible headache. That's why I hate Guy Fawkes night.
Hi, sir.
Fraser. Well, I expect you've seen one of these before, eh?
Oh, aye. Oh, yes. Oh, I have that, sir. Oh,
Well, to us, it's just a very mysterious piece of machinery, but I'm sure it's like an old friend to you.
Yeah, tell us how it works, Mr. Fraser.
Well, now, let me see. I'm not exactly quite familiar with this particular model.
Well, one gun's very like another, isn't it? I mean, surely the principle's the same.
Oh, I dare say the principle's just the same.
Oh, for heaven's sake, show us how to shoot it, Fraser. Come on.
Yeah, come on, get cracking. Ah, well, now, you see, it's not just as simple as it looks. Now, let me think. Aye. The bullets come out there. So they must go in somewhere back here.
Blimey, don't blind us with science, mate.
I thought you were supposed to be a chief petty officer.
How was that?
Oh, perhaps Fraser didn't have much to do with guns, possibly.
That's right, sir. That's right.
Well, what did you have to do with?
Oh, I did all sorts of things, sir.
Such as?
Well, mostly I was a cook.
A cook? We always thought you were something important in the Navy.
If you was at sea, would you not think eating was important?
But you said you fought at the Battle of Jutland.
I did not. I said I was at Jutland. Sailors are to eat, you know, even in battle. And when the shells are flying, it takes a man to stay below and make shepherd's pie.
You're very much of a man, you know, to having to do with boats. I've even felt queasy on the Serpentine.
Well, it's a great disappointment to us, but I suppose we'll work it out some way.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry if I've let you down.
No, that's all right, Fraser. You've not let us down.
No, don't worry, Taffy. I'll tell you what, next time there's an air raid, you can cook us a plum duff.
I nearly drove away and forgot. This book come with it. I think it tells you how to make it go off.
Oh, splendid. Thank you very much.
Come on, don't hang about. Quick, sharp in the van.
Here we are. 13-pounder QF Mark 5 gun. On Mark 1 mounting. Now. Yes, it's all here, Wilson.
Oh, good, sir, good.
The gun crew consists of GL, SS, trainer, breech worker, and 2 loaders.
Mr. Speaker,
Yeah.
I'd like to volunteer to be GL, SS, trainer, breech worker, and 2 loaders.
Well, thank you very much, Corporal. That's the entire crew.
Yes, well, perhaps they explain it all in a later chapter, sir.
Yes, well, I'll read on. Position for close-up.
Oh, close up, sir. That reminds me of that Vickers pantomime we did last Christmas, and we had this comedy drill scene, and the sergeant come in and said, close up, and we lifted our clothes up.
I'll bet that was hilarious.
Let's concentrate on the matter in hand, shall we, gentlemen? Number 1, the gun layer. GL, you see. Gun layer, GL. Yeah. Number 1, the gun layer sits at the elevating wheel on the left. That's here.
I'd like to volunteer to be gun layer sitting on the left, sir.
A sitting down job, perhaps it would suit me.
Yes, very good idea, Godfrey. Come on. Get him in, somebody.
Good you can, Godfrey.
Man,
Go on,
man, there you go. Right.
And the other leg.
Be very careful with it.
Yes, all right. And the other leg.
All right.
Now sit down.
Down here. On this seat here. That's
There
it,
you are.
Godfrey.
Right out, Godfrey.
Right,
There you
right.
are. He's all right.
Godfrey.
Now you've got him in there, I should leave him for the duration.
Right, now, number 2. The breech worker sits on the right in line with the breech. Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to volunteer to sit on the line with the breech.
Yes, all right. Get in.
Right, thank you very much, sir. Shall I get on its side, sir, or astride?
Just get on it.
Oh, Jonesy. Hang on. What's the matter? Oh, blimey.
Number 3. The loader stands to the rear of number 1. That's Godfrey. Right, Pike. Number 3. Number 4, the trainer sits at the training wheel on the right. Fraser.
Thank you very much.
Sit down there. Number 5, the loader stands in the rear of 3. Walker, you be number 5. Falling behind Pike.
Shall I go, Shell?
Yes, give one of those practice shells. Right. SS at the sights. Now, I wonder what SS stands for.
Well, Sights Superintendent, do you think?
Well, that'll be you.
Oh.
All clear so far?
It's not very luxurious.
It's not meant to be, Godfrey. This is war. Now, action. Clear away obstructions to the working of the gun.
You better get old Jonesy out of the way for a start.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
That'll do, Walker. Now, next, open the breech. Open the breech, Corporal.
That's all right, sir. Oh. It's stuck, sir.
Give him a hand, Pike. Sir, here, Mr. Jones.
Oh! It's all gummed up, sir. Gummed up.
Here, all right, let me have a look. Come out of it.
Yes.
I'll do this.
Excuse me. You had the safety catch on.
Always somebody ready to interfere, isn't there?
It's our gun. Well, he's a troublemaker, sir. Isn't he?
Right. Breech worker reports. Bore clear. At you, Corporal.
Bore clear. Bore clear. Bore
All right. Why don't you run? Once is enough. All right. Now, the loader loads the gun and calls gun loaded to the breech worker. Right. Thanks, John.
Gun loaded to the breech worker.
No, just gun loaded.
Just gun loaded.
Fine. Now, the loader should take extreme caution to ensure that his fingers are out of the breech when the breech worker works the breech. 1, 2, 3, 4, good. As soon as his fingers are clear, he calls to the breech worker. Corner of the page is torn away.
Why do I say that, sir?
Say what?
The corner of the page is torn away.
In that case, we're never going to know what he calls, are we, sir?
Oh, but hands away!
This is a field gun, Fraser, not Ben gun.
Hey, listen, sir. If he don't get his hands away in time, what about saying, ouch?
I've warned you once, Walker. Now, we want something brief and to the point.
Well, how about, fingers out?
Yes, that's very good. Fingers out. Say that, Pike.
Fingers out.
Good. Breech worker, close the breech. Close the...
Shut up, sir.
What did you say?
Shut up, sir. The breech is shut up.
It doesn't say anything here about saying that.
Well, I thought it was rather military.
I thought it was rather rude.
What about once more into the breach?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Now, on the order of fire, the gun layer pulls his lanyard. That's you, Godfrey. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Pulling my lanyard, sir.
That one down there.
Do you mean you really want me to make it go off, sir?
Yes, of course.
I don't think I'm quite suited to the post, sir.
Sir, I'd like to pull the lanyard. I'd enjoy pulling the lanyard, sir.
You can't lean over. What about the kick?
Well, I can do that as well.
The recoil from the gun, man.
All right, sir. Well, I'll sit back a bit, so that.
Pike, you do it.
I can't do it. I'm stuffing it up the breech. I can't push it and pull it.
Well, sir, as I'm not entirely overburdened with work at the moment, perhaps I should oblige.
All right, get in. You do it.
Now, come along, my dear Godfrey. Do you think you could bear to move yourself?
Well, now, we all know how the gun works, don't we? Splendid. So we'll just have a little practice.
That's all very well, sir, but what exactly are we aiming at?
Ah. Wait a minute. You see that van driving along the coast road? Now, that's an enemy tank, you see? Now, you lay on that. I'll just work out the range and the inclination. The range, say, 700 yards. 700 yards, angle of inclination 2.5 degrees.
Godfrey, have you got the inclination?
No, I'm perfectly all right at the moment.
No, my dear fellow, no. You just mean, let's have a look at that dial and see that it has two degrees on it.
All right. Now, both to the left, left, left. Still further round to the left. Aim in front of the target, and fire!
I wouldn't do that if I were you, sir.
Why not?
Oh, yes. I like that, sir. Much more your size. Rather a formidable weapon, isn't it? Certainly, that it is.
We are. Wilson, Mr. Manring, got the sawdust for the toot.
And I've got the tins of spam for the two.
And I've got the toy gun.
So we've got something to shoot for the toot, haven't we?
Well, now we want something to put the tute on.
I know, so we can use that big blackout screen in the hall.
Oh, what a very good idea, yes. Would you go and get it, please?
I will, sir.
Thank you. Now, Walker, just give me a hand round with this table, would you?
What exactly is a toot?
Oh, really, Wilson?
What?
Fancy asking what a toot is.
Well, I wasn't here last night, you see, sir, when you fixed it all up, you see.
Well, a toot is a tactical exercise without troops.
Oh, really?
Now, I've asked the men to bring some articles along so that we can make a model of the town, you see?
Good evening, sir. I brought as much stuff as I could.
There's one or two things that might be useful, sir.
Well done, Godfrey. Well done.
All right.
Ah, there we are.
Have this one.
There you go.
Here we go.
Right. Sawdust, sir.
Right, put it on.
Right, there you go, sir. There we are.
Splendid.
There we are.
Spread it out now.
Just spread it out a bit, won't we?
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
Hello. What's this? That's a bit of suet. Boy, that boy Ronald's getting very careless, you know. I won't be to use that. It's covered in sawdust. I'll put in the sausages. Be all right.
Make a note of that, Wilson, will you? No sausages next week.
All right.
Now, we want something to represent the church. Just that mess tin behind you, Walker, would you hand it over, please?
There you go, sir.
How about
There we are.
this
Lovely.
whiskey bottle for the tower, sir, eh?
Can't you get something a little more reverent?
For this stint of house salts, I do.
All right, that'll do.
No, Mr. Manning, got everything.
Right, splendid, splendid. Right, now the High Street. Put those tins of spam out, will you, Walker? And we shall want something for the promenade. Some hymn books from behind you,
I
Wilson.
don't think the vicar's going to like this very much, sir.
There's a war on, Wilson. Get the hymn books. Right. Now, something to represent the bandstand.
What about this powder puff, sir?
Oh, very well, yes, all right, that'll do. That's the bandstand. Now the allotments.
Oh, the sponge. Will that do, sir?
Sponge?
Here it
That
is.
sounds a good idea. Oh, yes, splendid. Lovely. Right, now something for the gasworks over here.
Ah, the gasworks. What about this tin of bicarbonated soda?
Yes, splendid.
Oh, it's 1 and 4, that.
Now, here we are, wait a minute. Here's the cricket pitch.
Oh, that's lovely, sir. And this'll do for the scoreboard, won't it?
Oh, splendid. Now, what about the pier? Something for the pier.
Sir.
Fine,
Well,
fine.
don't forget, sir, that the pier's got blown up in the middle of it.
Oh, no bother.
No, please. What are you doing? What are you playing at? It's my brush.
Well, what was it doing in Mrs. Pike's bathroom?
What? Well, it was my brush until I gave it to Mavis, for heaven's sake.
Now, here's our gun. We've got the toy soldiers, Pike.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Good man. Splendid. Now then, this knight in shining armour, this is, that's you, Corporal Jones.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
see,
Thank you. I'm
gun.
going to enjoy this.
This Highland soldier, that's you, Fraser.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then we've got Godfrey and Pike and Walker there.
Hey, why do I have to be the one without an ear? Do they are my soldiers?
We're doing a toll boy.
I don't mind being the one who's lost his head.
Oh, for heaven's sake, all right, swap them round. Right, now I'm left with a cowboy and an Indian. I'll be the cowboy, yeah, and you, Wilson, be the Indian.
I see.
Right?
I had a feeling I was going to be the Indian.
All right, all right. Let's get childish. Bring the men in.
Right, just shoot him. Would you all please come in here for a moment, please? This way for the twins. Steady on.
All right, be careful there, be careful.
Just take it.
Hold on now, gather round.
Get the officers
Get
around.
around, quickly and carefully as you can.
Right, man. A lot of animals.
Steady, boys.
All right? Now, pay attention, men. As you will all realise, our fighting potential has been increased enormously by the addition of a 13-pounder gun. In the light of that, we must conceive our whole form of tactics on a very much broader scale. Don't lean on the gasworks, boys. With our main armament here, we can control the whole stretch of the coast. Unfortunately, some obstacles are in our way. Now, that bandstand, that'll have to go for a start. Not only is it in our direct line of fire, but there's nothing to stop the enemy using it as a cover for one of his invasion barges. Just the sort of shabby trick the Nazis would play. Yeah. So I've written to the town clerk and told him that's got to come down in the next 48 hours.
Excuse me, though, don't you think you're being just a little bit high-handed?
I know how these petty officials work, Wilson, believe you me. It's the only sort of language they understand.
Well, they'll never get it done in 48 hours, sir. It's made of solid iron.
Hey, I'll take it down for nothing, as long as I can keep the iron. Well, I mean, it's war weapons, isn't it?
Yes, I think we'd better leave it in official hands, Walker. Now, the next thing in our line of fire are these allotments. They'll have to be flattened, of course.
Hold on. Them's my runner beans and tomatoes. You can't dispose of them like that. Think of the dig for victory campaign.
Be that as it may, Fraser, guns before vegetables.
Yes, I've had an idea, sir. Couldn't we leave the vegetables as they are, and then when the invasion signal comes, we could rush out and pick them very quickly?
The next thing in our line of fire is the cricket pitch. That scoreboard will have to come down.
Oh, no, please, sir, please. Not the scoreboard.
I know you're captain of the cricket club, Wilson, but we can't make any exceptions.
Well, why can't we wait until the end of the cricket season?
Unfortunately, the Nazis don't play cricket. If they did, we wouldn't be on opposite sides now. Now, in the event of the balloon going up, this will be our new plan of campaign. We've got the armoured car there, Pike.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Now put this behind Jones's shop. Yeah. Right. Now I want us all to adopt the places and positions that we would be in on a normal working day. Now you go back to your shop.
Right, sir.
Where are you going? Corporal.
I'm going to my shop, sir.
Oh, come here. You're represented by this knight.
Yes, sir.
Put it in the box over
Right.
there.
Oh, I'm cutting on, sir. Right, there we go. I'm in my shop, sir.
Right. Fraser, you'll be in your shop.
Aye, sir.
Walker, you'll be in your place of business. And, of course, Wilson, Pike and myself will be in the back.
Where shall I be, sir?
Ah, now, you'd better...
Well, he'll either be in the one in the front or the one in the town.
Now, let us imagine that the church bells have just gone. Jones?
Yes, sir.
You will run out from your shop.
Right, sir, I ran out from my shop. Oh, blast. I got lost in the sawdust.
Oh, well, come on. Pick yourself up.
I got hold of myself, right,
All
sir?
right. Now run down to the back of the shop, start up the van.
Right, num, 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 num,
Right.
num, num, num.
Down the high street as quickly as you can.
Well, num,
Pick up
num, num,
Fraser,
num,
who'll be
num,
waiting for you in his shop.
Fraser, right.
Down to the bottom of Slope Alley, where Walker will be waiting to be picked up.
Come on, Joe, get on the bed.
Sharp right turn at the bottom of the high street,
Right,
up the Eastgate Road, through the church hall here.
Wait, hang on, just... You can't go that way, it's a one-way street.
Yes, we can in an emergency. Come on. That's right. Now, we, of course, shall run from the bank to the drill hall, like this. Come on, you're involved. Come on, Wilson, get a move on.
All right, won't the van pick me up, sir?
Well, the trouble is, you see, we never know where you might be at any given time. Come on, Pike. At any given time, so you better make your own way there.
Right, sir.
Now, the rest of the platoon will get here as quickly as they possibly can. Now, let us assume, then, that the invasion has started and the enemy troops are landing. We are keeping up a constant steady fire from here, but he's also dropping parachutists.
A rotten swine, sir.
Now, in that event, Private Sponge will take Corporal Jones's place at the gun. You, Jones, will get into the van and take the rest of the platoon out and mop up the parachutists. Right. Understood?
Yes.
Right, here we go. On the word action.
Right, sir.
You be the loader.
Sir.
Right. Action!
Num, 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 num.
Ah!
Num, 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 num. Here we go. Num, num, num.
Ah!
Num, num, num.
Ah!
Num, num, num.
Good evening, Mannering.
Ah!
You know me, Mr. Reese, the town clerk. This is Mr. Bennett, the borough engineer.
Oh, how do you do? Yes, look, hold it, man. Hold it. Corporal.
Just a minute. What, have they surrendered?
For the time being, yes. We're just holding a toot.
Really?
This is Warmington-on-Sea.
Well, you could have fooled me. I'm not going to beat about the bush. What is the idea? It's said to be an ultimatum. I am not used to getting ultimatums.
Nevertheless, that bandstand has got to come down.
Oh? Why?
Because it's in our direct line of fire.
But that bandstand is a rare example of Victorian ironwork. It was erected to commemorate Queen Victoria's visit to this town in 1891.
That's quite right. I remember that, Mr. Mannering. Oh, what a day that was. I was guard of honour for Queen Victoria that day, and she come down the ranks, and I remember she hesitated in front of me, and she turned to her aide-de-camp, and she murmured, "He reminds me of my dear Albert." She had a little tear in her eye. And I reiterated, I said, and she reminds me of my dear old mum. And you know, she swept right on, and hence the old expression, we are not amused.
Neither are we, Corporal. What were you saying, Mr. Reed?
You can't say that bandstand has got to come down just like that. No. Before a decision is taken, it has to go before the town council.
Well, put it before the town council.
I can't do that. It's got to be discussed in committee first.
Oh, there's no time for all this red tape. Surely there must be some other way.
Well, of course, we could have an emergency meeting. That is, if it is considered urgent enough.
Of course it's considered urgent enough. The whole town's safety depends on this gun.
Well, you better try and convince the committee of that.
I'll do more than that, Mr. Reese. I'll lay on a full-scale demonstration.
Excuse me, sir.
Not just now, Virgin.
Oh, well, if you think you can pull it off, I'll get the committee along.
All right. 10:30 on Sunday morning.
Do you think that's wise, sir?
I know what I'm doing.
Excuse me, sir.
Will you go away, please?
All right, then. 10:30 on Sunday. I wouldn't miss this for the world. Excuse me, sir. I've got to put this blackout up.
Yes, we'll put it up later. Now,
It's got to go up
have
now.
another go, shall
And
we?
that's that.
Load the thing. Come in. Come in.
Mr. Mannering, we brought the camouflage, and it's to prevent the enemy aircraft from perceiving our firing position from the air.
I see. Good man. Jolly good. Well, go and get somebody to help you put it over the gun.
Ah, shit! Pike's helping me, sir.
It's ever so dusty, sir.
Yes, but never mind, Pike. Off you go. Spread it over the gun and weight it down with sandbags. Just a moment. Oh, sweet. We'll be ready for you in about 5 minutes' time. You're a little early.
5 minutes, eh? And what would happen if I was the invasion, eh? Would you have 5 minutes then,
If you were the invasion, Mr. Reese, you wouldn't be knocking at my door. You'll be heralded by the ringing of the bells and a fusillade of shots from our gun.
We'll see about that, won't we?
If you just come along with me, I think you're going to be quite impressed. You're making a very good job of that, Corporal.
Thank you, sir. Thank
First
you.
class. Permission to carry on, sir.
Carry on is just about the right name for it, I think.
Detachment, clear. Where's Godfrey?
I think he's over there, sir.
Godfrey, over here. Godfrey. Godfrey, what's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I've just taken precautions. Let's let it go off.
Go and join the gun detachment. Now, on the command action, I want you to go in like greased lightning and get that gun in action. Right. Squad!
Excuse me, sir. Don't you think we ought to remove the camouflage net before we begin?
I don't think that's very good thinking, Wilson.
Well, why not?
What is the point in camouflaging it when the enemy is elsewhere and uncamouflaging it when he's likely to see it? Just put the gun into action at the very last moment, whip aside the net, and pour forth our deadly fire.
Deadly? Who to?
You'll see in a moment, sir. Enemy tank right, actor! Come along now, quick as you can. Keen as mustard, these chaps, you know. Range 500 yards.
We'll be range 10 yards by the time they're ready.
Jonesy! Where are you? I've got a shell for you, Jonesy.
Somebody advice you get out of the way, you
Come on now, enemy tank right. Range 500 yards.
500 yards.
Range 450 yards. Corporal, have you got that gun ready for action?
I don't know, sir. I can't find the gun, sir.
Walker, go in and find him.
Here, come over to that, sir. Oi, Jonesy, where are you?
Don't keep asking me questions
Move it
all the
over now.
time.
Come on now, enemy tank right, 450 yards.
Jonesy?
Come on, Jonesy. Where are you, Fraser?
I said I can't get... Can't got no handle for this blasted net.
Pike, Wilson, get this net off. Come on. Come along now, hurry up. Corporal, stay where you are. They're taking this net off.
Ross,
Come along now.
don't
enemy
worry,
tank
sir.
right.
Don't worry. I won't let it beat me.
Come
sir.
along, chap. Stay where you are.
All right, Manring, all right. I've seen enough. I'll report to my subcommittee.
Well, thank you very much for coming along, Mr. Reese. I'm sure these little discrepancies will all be ironed out in the drill.
I'm sure they will. I'm going to tell my committee they can sleep sound in their beds,
Oh, yes, you can rest assured of that.
provided they make them inside that enemy tank. Good day to you. Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run? We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
Welcome to Wilmington on Sea. Blimey, what a dump. You know, I joined the Navy to see the world. I didn't expect to get stuck on the end of a ruddy pier.
I don't know what you're grumbling at, mate. You got on for nothing, didn't you? Before the war, you'd have had to pay a penny. What's the time, mate?
4 o'clock.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Another 2 hours and it'll be Tad-Art to sunny Warmington on sea for good.
Yeah. I wonder who'll be doing this rotten job every night when we've gone.
What, there's a new detachment of Matlows due in a week's time?
Well, in that case, someone had better send a telegram to Hitler telling him not to invade for the next few days. Because there won't be anybody here to stop him.
Oh, yes, there will, mate. The PO said the Home Guard are taking over for the week.
The Home Guard? Blimey. God help poor old England.
Now, before we move off, I'll just go through the details once more.
Oh, Lord, not again.
What did you say, Sergeant?
I'm sorry, sir. I beg your pardon. Sorry.
Now, we've been entrusted with the highly responsible task of manning the machine gun post at the end of the pier here for the next 4 nights. Now, you will observe that the pier has been blown up in the middle here. Now, that's to stop the enemy from landing troops there. Now, I'm sure you'll agree with me that we shall need a boat to get us from this point of the pier here to this end of the pier here. Here. Now, we have a dinghy, but unfortunately, it will only hold 3 people at a time. So we shall have to make several trips. We shall also need somebody to row the boat.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'd like to volunteer to row the boat from that end of the pier to that end of the pier, sir.
Yes, but I think it should be somebody who's more used to it.
No, please, let me do it. Let me do
sit
it,
down,
sir.
sit down. Fraser, you were in the Navy. You can row the boat.
Aye, sir.
Now, the plan is this. We shall all proceed to the end of the pier here, and we shall embark from these steps here. Now, you, Fraser, will take Samuels and myself over first. Then you'll row back and pick up Walker and Jones, take them across. Then you'll row back and pick up Pike and Godfrey, row them across, and then...
Row back and pick up yourself.
I shan't tell you. Now, let's just do a check-up on what food we have, because we're going to be stuck out on the end of the pier all night.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes?
I have prepared 3 pounds of savoury sausages and I cooked them dinner time.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And I have the mustard, sir. English, French, or German, whichever you prefer.
Oh, I think we just take the English and the French. You got?
Made a nice fruit cake.
Splendid.
And I brought some apples and tomatoes from my garden, sir.
Yeah, I've got a bottle of whiskey, sir. Hey, don't worry, it's on the house.
Oh, well, whatever else happens, we shan't starve, shall we, Wilson?
No, that sounds positively a gastronomic orgy.
It does indeed. What have you brought?
Well, I've got a quarter of a pint of acid drops, you see. Well,
Really?
yes.
I'd never have guessed. Right, well, I think that's all. There's only... Pike. You must not wear a coloured scarf with your uniform. How many times do I have to tell you? Take that off at once.
Oh, my mum says I mustn't take it off. I get croup.
Croup? Chickens get that, don't they?
Yes, that's right. Well, he gets it as well.
Really? Yeah. Extraordinary. Perhaps you should bring some eggs.
Very nice little joke, sir. Very good. Yeah.
Right, now then, come along. Let's move off as quickly as we can. I want to get settled down on the end of the pier before darkness sets in.
Very good, sir.
Come on.
The officer says.
Now, men, I want you to pay very careful attention to the way I get into the boat. Don't want anyone to fall in the water. Understand? Right. I will observe that I keep 1 foot on the ladder, here, and 1 hand on the post, here. The other foot is in the boat, thus. Turn it down, please. Turn the boat round.
I wish you make up your mind what way you want to get in the boat.
Keep the boat still, Fraser.
I'm giving it as still as I can. Foot out of my face.
Oi. Pay very careful attention to Mr. Mannering getting into the boat. Don't want anyone to fall in the water, do we?
Move over, Fraser. I can't get in.
How can I move over? I'm the one who's supposed to be doing the rowing. Yeah! Oh, you kicked me in the stomach, you stupid Sassenach.
How dare you speak to me like this? Take this man's name, Wilson. Right. 27! Walker! Walker! Report to me in the amusement arcade.
Come on, sir. Here we are. Just a bit more, sir. That's it. Well done. There you are, sir. Well done.
Right, thank you, Wilson. Right, go back for the others now, Fraser. And get them in the boat properly this time.
Ah! Come on, down, you slut! They're coming to get you!
What did he say?
I have no idea, sir. I think it must have been in Gaelic.
Whatever it was in, it sounded very rude.
Very nasty indeed. Unpleasant, I think.
Ah! Oh, well. This is all right, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely delightful.
Ah! Now we'll set up the machine gun out here.
Right, oh, yes, right.
And we'll take it in turns to go on watch.
Right, sir.
Good. Oh, I say. Hammock here. Good. I'll take that.
Oh, no, really, sir.
What's the matter?
Well, I really must protest, sir. Just because you're the officer, you don't have to take the hammock. I mean, you don't even say, may I take the hammock? Or even, do you mind if I take the hammock? You just strut over there, put your hand on it and say, I'm taking that. I mean, it's just the sort of behavior I cannot stand.
I'm very sorry, Wilson. Perhaps it was a little unthinking of me, a little undemocratic. But you know that I'm the last person in the world to take advantage of my position.
Oh, really, sir?
We shall take it in turns, of course.
Thank you.
But I shall use it first. Walker. Good crossing?
Well, sea's getting a bit choppy, sir.
Yes.
Would you mind if I sit down for a minute, sir? I feel a little queer.
Oh, right, set the gun up outside. Go on, Walker. Out on the sandbag. And see that it's covered up. Don't want the salt air to get at it. Hitler kicks off tonight. We shall be in the thick of it. Matter of fact, I wish he would have a go. I'm spoiling for a fight.
Are you really, sir?
Hello, that hammock looks cosy. Who's going to have that?
We're taking it in turns.
Captain Mannering is going first.
Is he? Yeah. I am surprised.
Put the blackouts up.
Right.
And you, Sergeant.
All right, sir.
Hello, sir. Captain Mannering reporting. Yes, we've taken up our positions. We're ready for anything that Hitler can throw at us tonight. Yes. No. Snug as a bug in a rug here, yes. And I can assure you, sir, that if Jerry does get past us, it'll be over our dead bodies. Thank you very much, sir. Goodbye. That's the sort of fighting talk they like at GHQ, you know, Wilson.
Here we are, sir. Fraser and I are here, and young Pike, he's tying up the boat to fast. Listen!
What's that sound?
It's the wind in the girders.
Aye, that's what you'd call it. But there's something like myself, it's been spent